Hey, welcome to our podcast of Isn't She Amazing? I'm Marianne,
And I'm Lorna.
and what we want to do is we want every single woman in the world to experience the I'm amazing feeling that Lorna and I have experienced. And I know each one of you has done something where you really are proud of yourself. We are worth it. We have important things to do in this world, and we want to support each other in how we're going to do that. Right, Lorna?
Absolutely. And today we want to talk about how you manifest the life that you want and stop the blocks that are the things that are blocking you from achieving that ultimate aha moment of this is what I'm meant to do.
Perfect. And
So,
that's what we're here.
you and I have both, yep. And you and I have both experienced that personally. We have taken a jump to determine like, what is that? Or just gone, I always say, like, noodled through all of those feelings of what am I supposed to do and how do I do it?
That's right, Lorna. And so many people are talking about manifesting their life, manifesting their goals, having their dreams come true. But they get disappointed that it's not happening.
Well, and there's a lot of information out there. I mean, I've like researched, I'm like a collector of information, and I'm like, is that really going to work? Is it really going to work if I do, if I journal, is that going to work? If I talk to a coach, is that going to work? And you do all of that, but there's still all those questions that you're thinking, we still don't know how to answer those questions. So it is, it's the taking the time and understanding that it doesn't happen overnight. Also, you have to take small steps to start to move forward.
And that's perfect because, you said we want to move forward, but, there's a lot of women, people in general, that think about what they don't want. I don't want to be fat. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want my husband to cheat on me. I don't want my kids to be annoying, or whatever it is. So we're thinking what we don't want, but the brain doesn't actually process the negative. And all your brain hears is, I want to be fat. I want to lose my job. I love it when my kids are annoying, and all that kind of stuff. So we have to do what you said and look ahead and make our language either present tense or future tense. But we have to be looking ahead about what we do want, not what we don't want. How do you think we should do that?
And that's so true because you just always think about, when even it's just a mind shift of your thinking, just like you said, I don't want to be fat. I don't want to, I don't want my husband to cheat on me. All of those things, you're so focused on, like, what you're focused on is what you end up accomplishing. So when you're focused on what I don't want, that's how your life is going to go. But if you're focusing on, I want to be happy, I want to enjoy my job, I want to have a good relationship with my kids, if that's the focus, your behavior is going to align with that. And it really, it does work. It is just that shift. But if you're so focused on all the negative, that's what your life that's what you'll manifest.
So true.
I mean, I know that from experience. It's like, because we all know what we should be doing. We know what we should be doing to lose weight. And we don't do it.
Exactly. So our thoughts have to be the same vibration, if you will, as our energy. Because we can be feeling really sad that we're not losing 10 pounds or 20 pounds or something like that. We can feel really depressed about the fact that we want to lose 10 pounds, but we're not. We want to get that job, but we really don't think we're going to. And so we are just big balls of energy that vibrate at a certain vibration. And there are emotions that are high vibration, things that are closer to God, if you will, things like love, joy, peace, gratitude, creativity, enlightenment, spirituality, you know, all that stuff is up here. That's light. We want to be there. We want to be in the light. But if we're operating out of fear, anger, envy, grief, depression, that keeps us stuck. And so what we're saying we want and what we're feeling is incongruent. So the other
Right.
day,
And what we're feeling will take over.
Exactly. So what's a major feeling that, okay, so we're going to create this environment in our lives, inside of us and around us, that is congruent with what we want. One of the things you mentioned the other day when we were talking was gratitude. How do we get better at that?
I think one of the things, it goes back to like when you're like writing, I found like when you just write it down and then like every day, if there's like one thing that you're grateful for, you don't have to spend a ton of time, but actually jot it down in a journal and then look back at the end of the week and really look at what you really have to be grateful for. There are lots of things that go wrong in the day, but if you're focused on what went right, and you look at the end of the week and then that's your recap, that's what you'll remember, not all the annoying things that happened that just kind of threw you off your track, but you did realize that you're grateful that you have good friends or that you have coworkers that you enjoy working with, or that you've helped a client, or you've helped your kids, or your kids had some success. I mean, all of that, if you're focused on like, I have that to be grateful for, you will manifest joy.
That's so important. And, it's not just, let's just think positive thing, because there's study after study, just gratitude has this similar statistics about moving your life forward as meditation. You get rid of the clutter, you get rid of the anger, you develop a lifestyle of gratitude instead of grumpiness. And instead of focusing on the good things, instead of focusing on the negative, we focus on the good things. And you're training your amygdala, which is the stress center of your brain, you're training that to calm down and appreciate the beauty around you. So if you picture it sort of like an aura of positivity, picture it even like a color. It could be any color at all, but picture yourself like anger, gossip, negativity, judgment. That might make a color of like a pea, puppy puke, brownish green. But
Right.
love and joy and peace might be a really pretty violet or light blue or pink, or a prettier color around you. And
a pretty bright color.
That's right. And that's what we're creating. And it actually changes the brain. So as a matter of fact, this morning, I got out a piece, just a legal pad, and just started writing, because you and I were talking, we might have a contest. So just so you know, I'm already winning. But I just started writing.
You are cheating. You're absolutely cheating. We didn't know we were going over the finish, the crossing the line.
Well, just a little head start. That's all I've got.
I like to win. I've got a competitive streak.
That's right. That's right. But it's so neat, because even that we were talking about, if our viewers just have a girlfriend or their kids or whatever, to make a little contest and say, who can think of the things this week that they're most grateful for? And I
a
even
great
remember there
idea.
was a time Bob and I, Bob's my husband, um, we bought these little notebooks. I don't have any, my desk in front of me is a mess. So um, we had these little notebooks that we just put by each other's computers. And in those little notebooks, we wrote down things we were grateful for. Thanks for doing the dishes, little things. Thanks for taking out the trash. Thanks for walking the dogs. Thanks for that, the flowers you left me on the kitchen table, or, thanks for supporting me in the whatever thing I was involved in. And we did
Thanks
that
for watching the
probably
program on TV with me that you didn't want to watch, that I wanted to watch.
exactly that chick flick.
Right, right.
And so, those are great ideas that we were talking about earlier. So it would be fun if our viewers kind of put in the chat box below, the comment section, just what do you do to raise your gratitude vibration? And
Mhm.
let's so everybody, give us some more ideas, because that's what the community is all about. We might spit out a couple of ideas, but everybody else has other good ideas too, and we want to share and build each other up.
Well, and I think, you made a point of, like, if you do the contest with your girlfriends and then like recap, and that also like helps those conversations, because sometimes when you're with your girlfriends, you do start grumbling about something or gossiping about some,
Oh, we
and it
never do
kind of goes below the line. Starts to
that.
go below the line.
It can go way below.
So this may encourage some more positive conversation, because you're focused on all these good things, and maybe that also will start to help you figure out what you want to do, because you're starting, as you're putting what you're grateful for, all of those passions and will start to bubble up to the top, and you'll start to see common themes when you're looking at what are you really grateful for, and that shows your value system, and your values are what will help you determine where you should be, or where your passions are lying.
Exactly. And we were
Don't you
talking
think?
about, we're creating an energy around us, we're creating an environment. That's what it means to raise your vibration. You're creating an environment around you that enables good things to be attracted to you instead of the stuff you don't want.
Right.
Just like in our health, I wouldn't say that stress causes cancer, but it certainly creates an environment in the body that is toxic. And toxic energies and
Right.
the stress hormones that are released in our body make us more vulnerable to things like the common cold and things as terrible as cancer. And the same
Right.
thing with our energy patterns. We want to attract abundance and joy and love. And so we have to, just like you have to eat your green vegetables if you want your body to have a good gut biome, we have to
Right.
have a diet of gratitude, love, and joy. And you have some neat examples of how to then increase the amount of love in our life, little things we can do. You're so good with your friends. I mean, you've had a million friends since kindergarten, I think, and you're a good friend maintainer. How do you do that?
Yeah, it's the little things. I just make sure I reach out. I send a little text. I'm thinking about you, or how are you doing? I make time twice a week to do something with two of my friends, because it's so easy to get so busy with your life. And some weeks I'm like, oh, I don't want to go out. I just want to stay home. But when I do it, I think they bring so much joy to my life.
Mhm.
And it's all really about relationship. Like it's work. So it is doing those little things and letting people know that just that you're even thinking about them. Or I'll find an article and I'll send it to someone and I'll say, I read this and I thought about you, or I thought this would be beneficial. Because I even do that in my work life. It's not just in my personal life, is I try and keep up with the colleagues, my professional colleagues, and let them know, or cheer them on about something if I see something on Facebook or LinkedIn. So, but it's the same. It's just like that little thing, I get up in the morning, and when I'm starting my day, is I look to see some of those, to see if there's somebody that I can lift up, or just acknowledge, or cheer them on. I think that's so important, to have those people to cheer you on. And that's what we're trying to build, is that community where we have cheerleaders around us.
That's
to
right.
say, you're amazing, like we're amazing, or look what you did, or look what we did. That's like, that feeling is just like we crossed the finish line. It's just, or like us, like we've been noodling around with all this technology, and then we're like, we're amazing, we figured it out.
We got a mailing
We
list.
don't want to really figure it out.
Right.
We figured
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be too athletic. We celebrate every little thing. But those
But
things
it goes back to that stepping, that one step forward. It gets us one step forward to what we're trying to accomplish. So you can sit them down and you can say, I don't know how to do it, I'm afraid. But at some point you have to jump in. And it may not work initially the way you're thinking. But if you keep course correcting, at some point, I feel like the door opens for you, and you say, this is where I need to step in.
That's a really good phrase, because course correcting, our whole life is an opportunity to course correct. So it's not to dwell in the, oh, I screwed up here. It's like, whoops. So I'm going to do this instead, and do this instead, and do this instead. And ultimately, you steer yourself toward a better habit. Even those little random acts of kindness that people talk about doing, those are important. That compliment to the girl with the green hair that walks by that you think is really cute, and just say, hey, I love your hair. I said that to somebody yesterday, just random, because it just kind of took me by surprise. I thought, oh, I love your hair. And she looked at me like, oh, thank you. Like it made her day. And it was just a random comment.
Oh, I know. I do that all the time. Yeah, I saw someone the other day, and she had this like really cool, like red coat. And I was like, wow, that's an awesome coat. And it is interesting because people pause for a second and they're like, oh, like someone saw me. And they light up. Like you just see like their face lights up because someone just said just a simple comment.
That's right.
And it makes you feel good, because when you see their face light up, you're like, gosh, I made their day today. They had somebody say something nice. Because I think that's the other thing we forget, is we don't know what people are going through. And so you're tough on people, and many times it's deeper than what we even think about, or can ever see, or ever know.
So true. So true. And even random things with other strangers, paying for that Starbucks behind you, the guy in the car behind you, or the McDonald's or Burger King or whatever drive-through you're going through. It might cost you $5 or $10, but it's just as important as sending a couple cans of food to the food pantry. Little things like that are just,
and I think
walking in love.
Huge. They're walking in love, and they're showing you that you should be grateful. You're grateful that you have the opportunity and the means to do something like that, or you just, and it also makes you more aware when you're walking through the world. I have a friend that took me she has a big a piece of property, and we went walking through the woods. And she said, when we're walking through the woods, like really pay attention. Like pay attention to what's wrong. Don't start thinking about what you have to do, or you have to do Christmas shopping or make a big meal. Like just walk through and be aware. And there was this little, I don't have it on my desk, I have it on my other desk, but there was a tree with like some type of mushroom. I wouldn't have even noticed it, but she said, what did you see something over there? And I was like, yes, a tree. And she said, no, look a little closer. And we went, and there was this mushroom. And so she took the little piece off of it. I have it on my desk to remind me to pay attention to what's going on around me, because I thought I would have never even noticed it, but it was beautiful. And I think that's the other thing when you're being grateful, is like to pay attention to all the things around you that you do have to be grateful for.
Well,
and what are you missing? Because you're so busy. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say another way to do that is take a walk through the woods with your grandchild, because they're much lower to the
Oh,
ground
yeah.
and they have this sense of wonderment. And when I'm walking through the woods
Yeah.
with my grandson, it's like he sees all those mushrooms. Look at the orange mushrooms, look at the yellow mushrooms, look at that mushroom. And they're always, and I the other day, we were walking and I said, "Oh, what's that?" And he looked at it and he goes, "A pine cone." And I thought, just the love in his voice about, we found a pine cone. There's like 40 million of them in my backyard. But it was a joyful thing to him. And yeah,
Right.
just take your grandchildren for a walk because they supply joy all the time. Love and joy. That's what they're all about.
Oh, yeah. I'm not lucky enough to have one yet, but hopefully one day.
Yeah, we'll be talking to your boys, so we don't want to get anything out of order, I
Move
guess,
it.
but
Yeah, we don't want to out of order, but
but
would be nice. Well,
yeah,
you said you were going to lead one of the other things we talked about is just like meditation, is how
yeah,
important that is, because it gives you that pause. Uh, and it does take a while to get into the kind of the mode of it. It took me quite some time. This past year, I really dedicated time every day to meditate,
mhm,
and it so helps your frame of mind. And just like you have your Just Breathe tattoo on your wrist, and it's like that. Just breathe, like take a pause before you react. And you can do it for like a minute. I mean, meditation doesn't have to, 5-minute meditation makes a huge difference in just resetting, helping reset and reminding you to have that joy and not to start going down that rabbit hole that you tend to go down when things aren't going the way you'd like.
that's right.
That pause.
And the main thing I think we want our audience to remember is that you do have control over your emotions. You do have
Yep.
control over your thoughts. But because of what Lorna just said about, you have to take that pause. If your automatic
You have to.
response is a reaction, a gut reaction, a lot of times that goes bad. But if you take that breath,
Most times that goes bad.
so if you take
Almost
that,
always that goes.
so here's a neat way to what I'd like to do is do a short meditation on joy. And I'm going to take us through, if it's okay. Is it okay to do that with you for right now? We'll take Lorna on a journey and let our audience follow along, because
Okay.
it's it's simply because we're going to create a memory of joy that you can access, just a little neuro-linguistic programming. So we're going to couple an emotion with some thoughts and some visualizations, put them all together, feel them very intensely, and then create some sort of memory button, whether you push yourself on the shoulder and every time you do that, the joy memory will come back, or just picture, that button right in front of you, little red button, beep, that's my joy button. So wherever it is in your mind, you have a button that says joy. And when you're getting disgusted with yourself because you're dragging around and being pissy in your thoughts and your words and stuff like that, and you just say, wait, I need a joy boost. Beep in your mind, just take that deep breath, push that button, and you'll remember these feelings. So, Lorna, you ready? Okay, so
I'm ready. I could
so
use some joy.
let's get you some joy. And we're going to, I would just
Okay.
suggest, if the audience is listening and they're driving a car or operating heavy machinery, don't do this. Come back and do it later. just because I'm going to ask you to
Good
close
advice.
your eyes. Okay, so get comfortable
Close my eyes.
and close your eyes and take a deep breath. Breathe in and hold it for a second, and then breathe out. Breathe in, hold it for a second, and breathe out. And do that a couple more times. Think you're going to breathe in positivity. Let it circulate around in your brain for a few seconds and breathe out all the negativity. It's kind of like the oxygen comes in, cleanses your brain, and gets flushed out the negative. In and out. Okay. I'm going to lead you through a little muscle relaxation so we can just relax ourselves. Start with the top of your head and feel the top of your scalp actually relax. And then the sides by your eyes, the corners of your eyes, let them go and just relax. And the corners of your mouth, let them relax. And as you go further down, let your chin relax. Your ears relax. And your neck feels relaxed. Now you're going to let your shoulders droop down. Your arms, your muscles in your arms are going to relax so that all the stress flows out your arms, down through your fingertips, into a drain in the floor. And then we're going to have our chest relax, stomach relax, and even more relaxed now around your abdomen and your hips. And then your thighs, feel them just get softer. Feel your knees get softer. Your shins and your calves feeling very relaxed now. Your ankles are even feeling relaxed. And all that stress drips out your toes into that same drain on the floor so that your body is completely calm, completely relaxed. Now I want you to picture something. You could be remembering something that brought you great, great joy at some point. And if you're not able to recall something like that right now, think of something that would bring you great joy, something happy, something positive, something that brings benefit to yourself and others. What is it that brings you joy? Whatever it is, I want you to see this little lever in front of you. And I want you to see what you see, feel what you feel, smell what you smell, think what you think, and let it be happy. Let it fill you with joy. A calm, happy joy. But now, you see that lever in front of you, we're going to pull that lever up gently, and the intensity of what you feel is going to raise up. The colors that you see are going to get brighter. Like if you started at a 5, now they're a 4, and 1 is going to be the best possible level of joy you could get to. Level 5, now level 4, colors are brighter, sounds are more joyful. You can hear like children singing and We're going to move it up to a 3, and it's going to be just intense joy. Already a level 3 is intense joy, happy memories, being around people that you love, people that are positive, situations that are positive. It could be your pet. And you're going to raise that up to a level 2, and it's going to be more exciting and more fun and more joyful. And finally, you can hear fireworks and see beautiful sparkles, and it's bright colors, wonderful sounds, delicious aromas, surrounded by people that you want to be with, in a place where you want to be, and it brings you joy. Get that lever up to level 1 and hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And I want you to leave it there at level 1 and picture yourself at that level 1. And now I want you to step into that person that's feeling that joy. Become that person that feels that joy. That level 1 joy. Yes, feels good. Yes, yes, yes. Now where that high little lever is, push that in. We're going to save it. We're going to save that feeling. And now I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 2 to 1. And as I do, you're going to hold on to that joy, and you're going to come back to us and open your eyes. 3. Coming back now. 2. All the way back with us. Open your eyes. 1. Here you are. High level of joy. And anytime, whatever that picture looked like for you, you could just take that level 1 joy and just push it right in, and you can control it. I don't want to be that excited, so I'm going to turn it down to a 3. Just want to be sort of excited. So try that again. And if you want to implant it in your brain, you could even watch this again and again, anytime you want. Come back and watch that and listen to it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. How did it feel, Lorna?
Feel really good. It was very calming. But I think that's the one thing, just to remind people, like, coming back and listening to it, because if you're new to meditating, sometimes it's hard to kind of keep your brain from shifting around. So it's really to stay focused, and it felt great. I feel like so calm.
Yeah, and that's the important thing to do, is create like an environment in your body that is calm, that doesn't accept the negative emotions. I mean, yeah, we can feel our negative emotions, but we know when we need to let them go and switch to joy or love or gratitude, whatever the things are we were talking about.
Right. All those feelings to help manifest where the positive and help you get where you want to get. That's
right. So gratitude, see if you can have a contest with your friends and post in the chat what you're going to do. Love, what are some little ways you can show love? Share that with us, share that with the community. And if you want to come back and do the little joy exercise so that you can control your level of joy. It's important to know that you can do that. And so, Lorna,
absolutely.
As we sign off, let's just wish everybody joy and invite them to come back to our podcast anytime.
Gratitude and love.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So thanks for joining us. I'm Marianne.
Thanks. And I'm Lorna, and
we're here with
love having you today.
Yeah. See you later.